Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. And welcome to another edition of the Year of the Dog. Now, I know I didn't say this earlier during my last episode, but anyway, with this month being September, and it getting pretty close to my 28th birthday, I think this week might be a nice opportunity to look back at a few classic dog movies. And what better way to continue this dog marathon than by looking at a movie from the pre-redemption era of Disney. For those who don't know, Disney was going through a rough start when making CGI movies without Pixar. I mean, sure, Dinosaur was an okay movie, though folks thought it was, shall we say, a ripoff on The Land Before Time. Then, in 2005, things got a bit, became a disaster when Chicken Little came along, though to me it was an okay movie. But then things got better with Meet the Robinsons. But you may be asking, what about the movie that came afterwards, which preceded The Princess and the Frog? Is it still a good movie? Well, let's take a look. Released on November 21st, 2008, the movie is Bolt. Now let's get started. The days of canine superstar Bolt are filled with danger and intrigue until the camera stops rolling. But Bolt doesn't know that he's on a TV show, and he thinks his amazing powers are real. When Bolt is accidentally shipped from his Hollywood soundstage to the mean streets of New York City, he begins his most amazing adventure, armed only with his delusions and accompanied by a cat and a hamster. He sets out to find his owner, Penny. So, what are my thoughts? Well, this was a really epic and heartwarming movie. But to further explain why I enjoyed the movie, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, at first, the film was going to be titled American Dog, and was going to be written and directed by Lilo and Stitch director Chris Sanders. Eventually, Sanders was removed from the project and was replaced by Chris Williams and Brian Howard. The film's previous plot told the story of a dog named Henry, a famous TV star who one day finds himself stranded in the Nevada desert with a testy one-eyed cat and an oversized radioactive rabbit who are themselves searching for new homes, all the while believing he is still on TV. In 2006, after becoming chief creative officer at Disney Animation, John Lasseter, along with other directors from Pixar and Disney, attended 2 screenings of the film and gave Sanders notes on how to improve the story. According to Lasseter, Sanders was replaced because he resisted the changes that Lasseter and the other directors had suggested. Lasseter was quoted as saying, "Chris Williams is extremely talented, but he couldn't take it to the place it had to be." After Sanders left and the original title was removed, the animation team was told to complete the filming in 18 months, instead of the usual 4 years that it, normally required to produce a CGI animated movie. So, what are my thoughts on the animation? Well, the animation is wonderful, and I really like how the animation highlights Bolt's cross-country journey back to Hollywood. Also, not only does it remind me of Homeward Bound, but it also makes me think of the times when me and my family took a cross-country road trip across the U.S. to Florida back in 1998, and to South Dakota in 1999. Also, in my opinion, the song Barking at the Moon, which is sung by Jenny Lewis while Bolt learns how to be a real dog as he journeys home, is, well, a nice traveling song. And the other song, I Thought I Lost You, which is sung during the end credits, is a very sweet song. There are also a couple scenes I like in this movie. For example, there's the chase scene at the beginning, and even though it's supposed to be fake, I still like the action taking place, and it gets concluded with a huge super bark. Also, to me, the fire scene nearing the end of the movie was very intense and suspenseful. And now, let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought him to life. Our main lead, Bolt, is voiced by John Travolta. Best known for being in films like Grease, the 1976 Carrie movie, Saturday Night Fever, Wild Hogs, and of course, the 2007 Hairspray movie. In my opinion, Bolt is a brave German Shepard, and I like how protective and loyal he is to Penny. Also, while he's on set, I like the many different abilities he does, like super speed, super strength, heat vision, laser vision, super jumping, and of course, his super bark. Also, I think it's, well, pretty dangerous when he dangles someone over a bridge. Also, I think Bolt is pretty similar to Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story, due to the fact that Bolt thinks he's the real deal. On the other hand, I like that Bolt is a very caring individual who will stay faithful to his closest friends. And I like the scene where Bolt rescues Mittens from an animal shelter. Next we have Bolt's owner, Penny, voiced by Miley Cyrus, who got to be in Tim Burton's Big Fish. Then she grew up into Hannah Montana, and she got to be in The Last Song before she grew up into Wrecking Ball. Now, in this movie, Penny is a kind, lovable, and intelligent 13-year-old girl. Ever since she was little, she loved Bolt very dearly, and she was heartbroken when she found out that Bolt got lost. She clearly is not fond of her agent, who rarely listens to her, and tries to persuade her into doing what he wants. She's also very loving towards all animals, including Mittens and Rhino, whom she presumably found at the hospital and adopted. Next we have Mittens, voiced by Susie Essman, whom I only know from the 1997 Volcano movie. Now, this character is a sassy and short-tempered street cat whom Bolt at first believed was an agent of Dr. Calico. She is pessimistic and has a dry sense of humor. She lives the life of a thief, or, in other words, a cat version of the Godfather, who suffers from traumatophobia, or a fear of battle and physical injury. She was not really interested in friendship at first, but she's eventually moved by Bolt's loyalty. Also, Mittens had a very sad backstory. You see, Mittens was originally a house cat, but sadly, her owners moved and abandoned her. Plus, I think Mittens does a pretty good job teaching Bolt about what real dogs do. Next up is Rhino, voiced by storyboard artist Mark Walton, who worked on such beloved films like Disney's Tarzan, The Emperor's New Groove, Meet the Robinsons, Romeo and Juliet, The Little Match Girl, including others like Turbo, Epic, and Rio 2. Plus, he got to voice in such, films like Home on the Range and Chicken Little. Now, Rhino is a hamster who Bolt and Mittens met while trying to get food at an RV park. He watches all of Bolt's episodes on TV and claims himself to be Bolt's #1 fan. Now, I like the scenes where Rhino convinces Bolt that even if he isn't a super dog, he is still a hero. And, of course, I like when he tells Mittens that you should never abandon a friend, even if they think they don't need help. Next we come to the fiendish Dr. Calico, voiced by Malcolm McDowell, who got to be in, such stinkers like Dinotopia, Quest for the Ruby Sunstone, along with Rob Zombie's Halloween movies. But one of his best roles, in my opinion, was Mad Mod from Teen Titans. Now, Dr. Calico is among the most ruthless, cunning, and merciless villain in the history of Disney. He's always accompanied by 1 or 2 cats. Plus, he's a master of planning and a brilliant strategist. And he likes to torture his enemies in order to force them to do his bidding. Also, while Calico is a very threatening villain, and he appears on the front cover of the DVD, there is one little flaw with him. He's not the main villain of the movie. He's just the main villain of the TV show in the movie. One of Dr. Calico's cats, who is a veteran, is voiced by Diedrich Bader, who got to be in The Country Bears and Sony's Surf's Up. While he and the new cat don't appear too much in the movie, mostly what they do is tease Bolt for being delusional. Next we come to Penny's agent, voiced by Greg German, whom, after this movie, played Hades on ABC's Once Upon a Time. His job is to manipulate Penny to keep working for the TV show no matter what. He also tries to lure her away from Bolt, describing the studio as Bolt's world. Also, this guy is very unsympathetic, abrupt, and, a bit greedy for money. Typical. When Bolt disappears, he wants Penny to work with another dog. If I were in this film, I would like to stick a pin up his flank. Next we have the director, voiced by James Lipton, who hosted the Inside the Actors Studio and wrote the Thundercats theme song. Now, it's hard to talk about him due to the fact that his role isn't very big in this movie, but he is determined to prevent Bolt from finding out that he is not really a super dog. We also have Mindy Parker from the network, voiced by veteran voice actress Carrie Walgreen. Mindy's job is to analyze the ratings of Bolt's TV show. In one scene of the movie, Mindy is unfazed and, well, she pressures the director to make the show less predictable by threatening to fire the entire crew if the show loses its ratings. Also, while she is very serious around the director, she is caring towards Penny. Finally, we come to Penny's mom, voiced by another veteran voice actress, Greta Liesel. In my opinion, she's a caring and a very gentle woman, and she's very supportive to her daughter and Bolt. Plus, I really like the part where she throws the agent out of the ambulance and slams the door in his face. And now let's move on to my final words. Overall, Bolt is a lot of fun for kids, grown-ups, as well as Disney and dog fans. The animation is fantastic, the story is action-packed and heartwarming. I love the cross-country journey throughout the movie, and I love the relationship between Bolt and Penny. Plus, Bolt's friends, Mittens and Rhino, are very supportive, even if Mittens has a habit of putting her paw down in order to set Bolt to reality, and Rhino can be a very hyper fanboy. Still, this is one dog film that I highly suggest you check out. As for my rating, I give it a full 100%. Well, that's it for today, everyone. Be sure to join me for another Disney dog movie, and trust me, you guys will be seeing lots of spots when the time comes. Mustang Power.